We would like to deliver now the understanding of what our next transmission is all about for your December month. The title of this will be The Silent Season. You have the idea of a silent night in your December month, but the idea is that as you transition from your year of 2025 into your year of 2026, through your December and January months, as you cross that threshold, this is what we will term the silent season. It is important for you in a centered, balanced, in an almost meditative state to be within yourself, to be within your sphere, to be within your bubble, which can still include others, but almost like going within into a silent space to help you go through this transition into the year in which more and more awareness of our existence, of extraterrestrials, of disclosure will be coming about. So we will deliver a very specific collective permission slip that will help you go through this transitional period in the way that is representative of being in a silent season where everything is quiet, where everything is gathering, so that you may slide very easily into a new era, into a new reality, into a new year that will bring forth much acceleration and much change. So join us for the archetypal permission slip exercise meditation that we will deliver in the silent season.
They're sincerely asking for help, but it doesn't seem to be answered. Their mind goes through thoughts like, if help were truly given, so many people wouldn't be suffering. If God doesn't help them, why would God help me? Can you help me understand this, is they're saying.
Well, first of all, this is an outdated and old-fashioned way of thinking about exactly what is supposed to be coming to you from the spirit realm or from source. Again, you have to understand that it's important for you to take responsibility and open up your senses to receive the help you are getting, but no one is going to erase the experiences and challenges that you set up for yourself as a soul. So no one's going to contradict what you laid out on your life path as a challenge that you need to face for your soul's growth. You will always get help in facing the challenge, but no one is going to remove the challenge that you've set up on your life path. What you call God doesn't work that way. That's an outdated, old-fashioned idea that God allows suffering, and why doesn't God intervene? God is all that is, no matter what it is, positive, negative, and neutral. It is experiencing itself in all the ways that it possibly can. It doesn't intervene or intercede in changing what you as a autonomous soul, as a free will being, have laid out on your life path. So you have to start taking some responsibility for what you're experiencing, and you have to learn to transform it based on what you are learning in terms of expressing more of your soul through your physical form. This is why you set up challenges in your life in the Earth School, to grow, to stretch. So allow yourself to help yourself and know that you are getting help in the way that you face the challenges, but no one is going to intervene and erase the challenge for you, because that would be beside the point and contradicting what you laid out on your life path for your own purposes and your own soul's growth.
So, and this person was asking about if it's possible to change their birth parents, that they would like to shift to a parallel reality where their current parents are not the ones that they are related to by.
No. Again, The idea is to learn from the experience and choose where you want to go from that lesson, from that experience. You cannot erase what has been already decided by you. You can learn from it and you can create a new experience, either in this life or in a different incarnation, but there is no eraser. And if someone says, well, can I go and redo it and have different birth parents? Then you wouldn't be you. You would be another person entirely. So you have to understand more clearly how this works. It's not about erasing what you've already done. It's about learning from it. And if you do something different, you're a different person anyway, even in a new incarnation. You cannot erase what you've already decided to experience. There is no eraser for that.
Due to indecision, I turned down a dream job and have so much regret. I wish I had not, and it's the hardest thing. Is there a way to manifest a similar opportunity to feel like I'm resonating with my soul path again?
Yes, of course. First, you have to give up regret. You have to give up the idea that you made a mistake. You have to learn the lesson and move forward, learning the lesson, knowing that you can absolutely, by following the formula, attract what you need in life. And if it's not absolutely identical as an experience, it will be similar enough that it will fulfill you. So don't look for it to be the same as it might have been. Let go of the regret and move forward by following the formula, knowing that whatever form it takes and however it looks, it will feel as fulfilling as whatever that past expression of it might have been.
I'm not sure what I want to talk about, so I'm just gonna
all right.
see what comes up. Actually, yeah, I kind of do have one thing I want to talk about.
Oh, all right.
Can you tell us a little bit more about the how many members are in the Galactic Alliance?
Ours?
Yeah.
How many members as in how many civilizations?
Yes.
452 at present.
452. And we're going to be the next
No.
inclusion into that?
No.
One of the next ones coming up?
One of the next ones, yes.
Okay.
There will be many more between now and the time you become an actual member.
Ah, I see. And are most of those societies like ours, like yours? Are they like, can you describe them?
We have described some of them from time to time. What would you like us to describe about them?
I don't know, their physical forms, their likes
All
and
right.
dislikes.
All right.
Or maybe, actually, here's one question. What brings them all together? What is the common goal?
A perspective that all things are one, and a valuation of the differences that reflect to them all the ways that all that is can be. And an understanding of the synchronicity that results from that, and the expansion of awareness that results from interacting with all those other aspects.
I like that.
So do we.
Good. Okay.
Now, we are not saying that there are not different levels of understanding and different levels of expression even within the alliance. There are members that, because they themselves have a relatively unified society, are simply curious to join the alliance to see what effect it may have on them to do so. And they may have no other motivation than that. But at least in their own context, they are among themselves unified.
So it's really a group of people that have self-respect, self-love, and self-understanding that they are the one and the one is them.
Yes, and the appreciation of the difference that they are from all the other differences.
Okay.
And the difference that everyone else is from them.
Wow.
Now, there are beings, of course, that are somewhat similar to humans, but that's only about 15% of all the beings we have ever encountered.
Wow.
Most of the ones that are similar to humans in the sense that they have the two arms, the two legs, the head with the two eyes, are actually, for the most part, actually genetically related to you. Or, I'll be more precise, you are genetically related to them.
Ah.
Thereafter that 15%,
most of the ones are not in any way, shape, or form what you would recognize as human.
Are they still corporeal?
Most of them. There are a few in the Alliance who have the ability not to be.
As your society is getting into, right?
Yes.
I see.
But most of them have at least what you would recognize as the ability to project a corporeal aspect of some sort that most members can relate to. But for some, that's just a projection of convenience.
Wow, I just find that whole thing very fascinating.
Yes.
Very fascinating.
Now, one moment. One moment. One moment. One moment. We are filtering requests. One moment. Imagine, if you will, or if you can, that you have 4 legs, not 2, and that you are basically, to what you would consider to be now, upside down and backwards. In that your torso is hanging from the legs, not standing on top of them.
I see.
You follow me?
Yeah.
Now, imagine, if you will, that this being can move in any direction it wishes because its vision is 360 degrees. Do you understand?
Yeah.
One moment. Imagine, if you will, off of each of the 4 legs are also an extension that are manipulators, or what you would call hands, although they look nothing like yours. Which means the being can move in any direction it wishes to and still achieve the same degree of manipulation in its reality. In that sense, these beings have never developed the concept exactly that you recognize as quadrants, or north-south, east and west. To them, it's all the same and based on the idea of radial patterns that only expand uniformly.
Wow.
Or contract uniformly. They do not have the same kind of sense of direction that you do.
Wow, I get it. Cool.
A very, 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 very loose vibrational translation of what they call themselves would be the freeing.
Say that again.
Freeing.
Gesundheit.
Thank you. One moment. We have to explain your joke to them. They don't get it.
Well, tell them there's no offense.
No offense taken, they just don't get it.
Okay.
They do not have the mechanisms that you have that cause sneezing.
Okay.
Once, twice, or 3 times a day, depending upon the philosophy that is held in the society, all of their vacuoles open and a strong, stiff breeze is created to blow through them to clean their systems out. They do not sneeze as such, but they have 1, 2, or 3 blows a day. They understand it to that degree, but not the explosive nature, since they completely control the passage of the air through those vacuoles through a system of muscular diaphragms.
See, I've been trying to do that myself, and I can't get any control of passing my air. So. It's a challenge.
All right. One moment.
You got to try to explain that one to them.
I'm not even going to attempt it.
I'm just playing around.
I know that. They are a little bit confused,
Yeah,
but that's all right.
right.
They simply understand that they have to chalk it up to the differences between us and are fascinated to some degree as they can understand it by what you are saying and realize through the images we are imparting to them telepathically that you look, of course, very different than they do. And actually they are wondering how you can even stand up.
I wonder that myself.
It's not that they have not encountered other bipedal forms, but because they are so innately four-legged, it always seems a little bit mysterious to them and curious to them that something can actually balance on two. And so they wonder at that. And it is part of their appreciation of the differences.
Now tell me this, for that creature to be that type of creature,
Yes.
it had to start from some level of consciousness first, right? Just like we started from a level of consciousness that then produced a bipedal being.
Well, if you mean it that way, yes, although remember that on the spirit level, we're all the same kind of consciousness, choosing to experience incarnations in a variety of forms. But as you mean the consciousness of the material evolutionary
Right.
world itself, yes, there were what you would call primary forms before the form that is now in existence.
I see. Okay, and that primary form is the same for all species throughout the entire universe?
No. I am saying that in their environment, there was an initial form that actually had 8 legs and over time evolved into that which has 4 and has grown larger in its domain and has become, in your terms, capable of supporting incarnational spirit and expressing intelligence in a way that you would recognize as a civilization.
Okay. Okay. Well, it's true that everything starts from consciousness first, right?
Well, everything is consciousness. Of course, on that context, yes. If you want to call that the primal form, then yes. Everything starts from the same primal consciousness. But it doesn't really express itself as one form, per se. It's formless.
Right. Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, and then it can choose the form that it wants to manifest.
Yes, and it chooses all forms. The primal consciousness chooses all forms
Right,
that it
'cause
can
there's
choose.
no limitation to it. It's
Correct.
infinite. You know, that's the one thing that I was getting from your talk earlier, that we are ungodly unlimited. And it's so...
Ungodly?
Well, I mean, you know what I mean. And it's so interesting that we've really boxed ourselves into this quote-unquote corner of humanity.
Yes.
When we are so much bigger
Yes.
than...
That's
It's amazing.
the mystery of it and the fascination of it and the beauty of it and the power of it is that you can do that, being such unlimited beings. That's why you are so fascinating to so many species.
Wow. Because
That's
of our
why we
degree of
call you the
limitation.
masters of
Yeah,
limitation.
I've heard you say that several times. It's like a
There are
cartoon.
not many civilizations we have encountered that have imposed the same degree of limitations upon their experience of life. And this to us is a form of mastery.
Because the default behavior is to not be like that. Is that
In a
what you mean?
sense, you could call it the default behavior, yes.
Interesting.
The default state of being is to be unlimited, but also at the same time to experience absolute limitation as well. That's the polarity, and everything in between. But as you meant it, yes. Recognizing that puts you in a state of higher awareness, yes.
Wow. Cool.
Whatever temperature you want.
Explain that to them.
They understand temperature.
Oh, okay.
You mean the slang?
Yeah.
One moment. They actually have something similar. That's not foreign to them. They understand that a decrease in temperature usually causes things to slow down in motion. So they actually have in their language something similar to the idea of chill out.
Wow. Cool.
All right.
I didn't mean that. I meant that. Just kidding around. Okay. And I guess one other quick thing.
Yes.
I was talking to Jill earlier, and she and I have the same interesting experience where we're both experiencing some pretty deep lows and some pretty amazing highs as well.
Yes.
And I don't know where I'm going with it, but I guess just
Probably generally upward.
I sure hope so.
You can know so. You don't have to hope so. If you are implying uncertainty in that statement.
I was, but especially after yesterday and today, I'm getting more of a picture of
All right.
defining my own certainty
All right.
and building my own certainty and making my own certainty.
Thank you.
And I'm not there yet, but I will be.
You are where you are.
Right. Right. So this has been a very interesting seminar so far. So thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
I will.
Oh, yeah, actually, sorry, one other thing. Thank you very much. I am very fascinated by the Institute of Applied Metaphysics and the acronym.
I am.
I am. There's no accident there, is there? Okay, I know you guys. Of course there's no accident. That's so cool. Any comments about that? Anything you want to add that you haven't said so far earlier? Because I'm just fascinated by us being able to do practical, everyday things to really get it in our skulls and our brains to become more who we really are. And in fact, you did that.
There will
earlier
be
with expert
basically
experience.
2 mandates for the Institute of Applied Metaphysics. Number 1 will be to explore all of the ancient metaphysical ideas and extract from them knowledge that can actually be applied in a variety of disciplines on your planet in very practical ways to expand your level of understanding, technology, medicine, and what have you. The second mandate is to provide the idea of general knowledge itself and explore and experience the expansion of yourselves through a variety of learning techniques and access to a variety of archives of knowledge. Generally and briefly, the 2 mandates are the idea that there is information within metaphysical knowledge, both present and ancient, that can actually be literally physically applied to technologies and various disciplines on your planets to expand their understanding and actually create products that will be representative of expansion of awareness on your planet. Number 2 is simply the learning aspect, where it will function like a curriculum in a school to allow individuals to improve their own understanding of metaphysical concepts at whatever rate they are comfortable doing so. You are welcome.
I am so blown away by that because
Blown away where?
because I'm working on various projects and inventions now that have that exact idea in mind, to use basically to mix art and technology and spirituality to help people evolve themselves.
And I suppose that's not an accident
well,
either.
I'm just being blown away. It's just cool.
Well, thank you.
I mean, I'm hearing these reflections, and it's so amazing.
Yes. Well, I wasn't being facetious.
I know.
I was playing with you.
I know. Wow.
Thank you.
Well, thank you, Bashar. Thank you very much. Have a good time. We'll see you soon.
I do.
All right. We love you.
I would love to you as well.
Hi, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
Good. I talked with you a few months ago about my abnormal cells in my part of my body.
Yes.
And you said it was mostly the toxin that I had in my body. So, you told me, suggested that I do all the 3 cleanses, colon.
It is one of the strongest things most of you can do with any kind of buildup in the body.
Yeah, and then also you suggested the aloe.
Yes.
And I tried that, and I was eating organic and vegetarian and tried that, and then for a few months, and then finally last week I went back to the doctor, and I couldn't reverse it.
All right.
And so I had to kind of do the procedure.
All right.
And I wanted to. My question is, why? Why? What was
it is always best to allow yourself the opportunity to see if your belief systems will allow you to do the most natural thing. If that doesn't work, then there's an indication that your belief systems are telling you that this is a process you need to go through in a different way, because it's going to put you in touch with what you need to be put in touch with by going through the process that way.
Right. And you also...
So the question to ask is, in then going through the procedure, what came up for you?
I was actually very busy trying to get the supplements in time, and I was busy working 2 jobs, and
Yes. But what we are asking is, how did you feel?
I was feeling I had to take charge. I have to in control of my body.
Take charge.
Yeah, I had to. I need to do this.
All right.
In order for me to heal.
All right.
And but and also I felt like I was trying to push it away
All
instead
right.
of embracing it.
All right, very good.
And,
So that revealed something about yourself that you can now deal with.
Yeah, and I tried to. Well, I actually want to know more about that because I tried to find a belief system that wasn't working for me, so so that I can let go and heal.
Yes.
And I couldn't really do that. Maybe anger, maybe not unforgiving, unforgiveness.
All right, well, since you are coming up with these concepts, what is it that you are still angry or unforgiving about? What has happened in your life that you find difficult to let go of in terms of anger and forgiveness?
What happened?
Yes.
Well, what happened? I guess the big incident was I was threatened about me living here and
Threatened in what way?
like legality of my status
All
in the
right.
United States and
So in that sense, some part of you is still holding on to the idea that you don't belong?
yeah, that's true.
All right.
Yeah,
So you are dealing with that idea of, in some sense, being a foreign object
right.
in a body that wants to get rid of you.
Say that again.
You are acting or believing that you are a foreign object in a body that doesn't want you, that won't accept you. And so you are, in that sense, mirroring it by creating a foreign object in your own body. And thus, by accepting and embracing and going through it and not rejecting, you can then also see that it is a mirror of what you are going through macroscopically in your reality,
What does that mean? Like
on the larger scale in your life.
Should I?
It is about
accept it?
learning
Yeah.
why you feel rejected even though someone may reject you.
Why do I feel rejected?
In other words, you don't have to feel rejected just because someone may reject you.
Right.
And if you are going through anger at made to be feeling like you don't belong, you are accepting. You are accepting that belief of rejection upon yourself. You're accepting the judgment. And it's about learning that it doesn't have anything to do with you. It has to do with their issues, not yours. And not taking it upon yourself and letting it insist itself within you.
Let it insist.
It's concentrating within you and materializing within you. You understand?
So that's the reason you think why I got this?
That is the most obvious reflection. There may be other things
Yeah.
peripherally tied to it.
So-
But since you brought up the idea of anger and forgiveness
Right.
at being rejected, it is a metaphor for that idea. You are creating something within your own body that is mirroring the way you feel, like a foreign object in another body.
So by trying to remove that abnormal cells, what was I doing?
It is all right for you to physically do that, but the idea is to also get the point of why it was there. And the point of why it was there is to allow you to understand that you don't necessarily have to be extracted in the same way if you understand the dynamic of consciousness that's going on that created it. That you feel yourself like a foreign object and allow yourself to stop feeling that way.
How
To allow
do I do
yourself to
that?
know that you belong wherever you say you belong. Wherever you believe you need to be is where you belong. And just because other people might make you feel like you don't, doesn't mean you have to believe that. And treat yourself with the same disrespect.
Right, that's true.
And thus don't have to be angry about it. You understand? The
Yeah.
anger will build up in that way materially in your body so that it causes blockages and will allow your body not to flow and will allow certain things to build up that then can be removed one way or another. It's not really about how it is that you allow that to go away. It's about what you learn from why it was there to begin with
Right.
and how it mirrors what you may be going through in your physical life.
And how can I let that go?
I just told you. You need to start understanding what it is within you that allows you to accept so easily the judgment of others upon you.
I do that all the time.
Yes, I know.
And I create it too.
Yes. So
did I
you
do
need to
that?
practice not doing that. You need to allow yourself to understand who you really are so that you can recognize when something has to do with you and when it doesn't. And when it
Right.
doesn't have to do with you, don't react to it. It's all about discernment. It's all about recognition of the true self. And only responding in a positive way to what's going on in your life instead of reacting in a negative way and taking upon that energy in some kind of self-judgmental fashion.
Right. I do that all the time, and
I
I want
know.
to shift. I want
Go ahead.
And just by, you mean like by really focusing on who I truly am?
Yes,
I can shift?
because when you know who you truly are, you will know what is and isn't relevant to you. And if someone comes up to you and says something that you know has really nothing to do with you, then you will not react to it.
However, though, I think I'm from the culture where, you know,
Yes.
let's say my hair is red.
Yes.
Somebody says, you know, my hair is black, you know, but somebody says, if somebody is really, you know, confident, and if she or he tells me that my hair is red, and I
Yes.
say, oh, yeah, probably my hair is red. You know, that's how I grew
know,
up.
that's what I'm talking about. All of you are brought up with different belief systems, and you have to get to the point where you realize exactly which belief systems you've been brought up with work for you and which don't, and to let the ones go that don't.
Yeah.
So ancestral belief systems aren't any more powerful than any other belief system. She's
No,
Japanese,
although you
so-
can make them seem as if they are with a belief system that ancestral beliefs are more powerful than any other kind, and many of you do. Many of you make certain kinds of beliefs seem more powerful than other ones. They're all equal. They're not any more powerful than any other belief, but you can have a belief that they are, which makes them experience as if they are.
Yeah.
So if someone says, well, an entire society telling me this is way more difficult to change than just one person, well, then that's what makes it more difficult, is that belief. And of course, because all beliefs are self-perpetuating and self-fulfilling, a society that holds that belief to be true will obviously want to make sure you learn that belief too in order to perpetuate that belief. That the society's beliefs are more powerful and more overriding than your own.
So I can change that belief.
Of course you
Yeah.
can.
Okay.
And in fact, just by talking about it, you have. If you believe it.
Right. Right.
Make sense?
Yes, that makes sense. And I have one more question.
Yes.
So what is toxic? Like we talk, Kevin and I talk about sugar. Is sugar toxic?
Not generally, but it depends upon the form in which it comes and how it is processed and whether toxins have been used in the manufacturing process. Also, perhaps, the idea of too much of something can be toxic, even though it may not generally be so.
Okay. So
Because if you overload a system,
Yeah.
then obviously the system will collapse. Even if what you are putting through it normally is the same substance, as long as the correct amount for that system is going through, it will be fine. But if you overload it, obviously in some senses, it will not survive.
right, like refined sugar, is that bad for us?
It depends upon the refinement process. If you're talking about the idea of a relatively natural refinement process, it is probably fine in moderate amounts. If you're talking about some sort of artificial process that introduces toxins in the refinement process, then probably you are receiving toxins.
Okay.
Again, this is simply common sense.
I didn't know.
M and M's. Yes. Well, a few M&Ms are probably fine. 10,000 might be overloading the system. Again, the idea is that generally speaking, even in a relatively toxic planet such as yours, things in relative moderation will probably be generally all right for you as long as you keep yourself cleansed and detoxified. Do the best you can within that system and do things in moderation that way.
Yeah.
The idea, of course, is that if you overdo it, There's an issue there and a belief system that needs to be addressed as to why you would do that, because there is no other reason why you need to, unless there's an issue that says you must. Because if you are simply regulating yourself naturally, you will find that your body consciousness will know what it needs at any given moment, and you will ingest exactly just so much of that and no more, because it will feel unnatural to do so. To some degree. Because you must understand that the channel before you is my past self. And the channel before you, at one point in his life, was told about the effects of too much sugar. And in surpassing a certain amount, developed an allergic reaction to it. And can now no longer consume it without painful consequences. And so, in a sense, yes, from experience. Although it wasn't M&M's.
Thank you, Bashar.
Thank you. One moment. What is your time frame?
It's 3 o'clock. It would be a good time for a 15-minute break.
Then we shall take one and resume transmission in 15 of your minutes. Thank you.
Hello, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
Well, my question is an ongoing question about a book I want to write.
An ongoing question.
And it's an ongoing history of the human race.
Yeah.
And we spoke about it briefly.
Yeah.
And it was an interesting response that all of our history is not here.
Correct.
And
It's
so-
one of the gifts you will be given when open contact occurs. You will be reminded of what the real history of your world actually is, and all the missing gaps, or at least most of them, will be filled.
Well, then, if I'm going to write this book, I'm going to live to be 105.
Maybe.
Okay.
That's not so far-fetched anymore on your planet, is it?
It is not.
All right.
I like it.
Oh, all right. But that doesn't mean you can't start writing now if you're excited to do so.
And I am.
All right.
There was another thing that I hope it's not too personal, and you can say if it was.
Oh, all right.
Okay. We were discussing, and you stopped what we were discussing because there was a synchronicity between you and April when I brought up the DNA work that I'm doing.
Yeah.
And I find some interest in the DNA work that I do everywhere.
Yes.
And I was going to incorporate that into my book.
Go ahead.
I will, thank you.
All
I
right.
was wondering if you could give me any pointers on that. There are different cultures around the world that would assist me in
Well,
a
again,
broader,
the idea
unified
now
version.
is that many of the markers that were turned off in the Anunnaki hybridization that created Homo sapien are now being turned on in your DNA. This is why you're experiencing expansions of consciousness, becoming more sensitive to formerly invisible energies, becoming more what you call telepathic and psychic. Even the desire to explore spirituality is the result of certain genetic markers being turned on that have been turned off for thousands upon thousands of years. So you are becoming more like the Anunnaki now, and therefore it is important for you to maintain the vibrational state of being that you prefer, so that you will not necessarily walk down exactly the same path, but will be your own version of that idea in a positive and constructive way.
Awesome.
Does that help?
It does.
All right.
Another question.
Yes.
I have an estranged husband.
Your
People-
husband is strange?
He is strange, and so am I, and I love it.
Oh, all right.
He
And so-
chose to have a form of a stroke a few
Yes.
months ago.
Yes.
And he's still alive and with us and doing wonderful, except he
right.
doesn't have any idea who I am or anyone else.
That may be a blessing, yes?
It is. He loves it. He's got peace now.
Yes.
Okay.
Sometimes people will create peace in their lives in the most radical ways because they can't imagine or don't have a belief system that will allow them to do it any other way. That's going back to what I told you about the idea of you'll get the message somehow.
I resonated to that. He did get it. Yep.
Yes. All right.
But it's still pleasurable for him. Okay, and
Sometimes decisions are made, and when those decisions are made, the physical consequences may need to play out because, again, they don't have a belief system that says anything else can occur.
and doing my little dance of the Saki and the Soma, I find myself sort of flighting through like a gypsy all around the world.
Yeah.
And
Sounds exciting.
it's really wonderfully exciting, but to some people like my little 13-year-old grandson who it sometimes would like to resonate and stay in the same school with the same students for a while.
Oh, all right. Well,
They
that
can
can
make-
happen too.
Yes. And you've just never given me even a slither of a hint on whether that might be, you know, this wonderful place. And I have houses all over the place now. I
Yes.
wondered if you might give me a slither of a hint.
A sliver of a hint of what?
What would be like in both of our highest good, a place?
Where are you most attracted to? As we go back to the idea of explaining, as we did in the beginning of this transmission, there is usually something that is at least slightly more exciting than any other option. And if, again, it seems as if the excitement is absolutely dead equal, then it doesn't matter which one you choose, because if you choose the one that's not the path of least resistance, it will show you and turn you around to the other path. So the only thing you need to do is determine if something has a little bit more excitement than anything else, or even if it doesn't, just make a decision so that you can move forward and let the automatic device show you whether or not that is the path or not. That's all you have to do.
I got it.
It's very simple. So, does one choice stand out even a little bit more than any other choice? Is more exciting than any other choice, even just by a margin?
Not really.
Oh, come on.
Well, I have a house in Oregon, I have a house in Texas, you
Yeah.
know. I think I enjoy being in Oregon a little more than I enjoy being in Texas.
Why?
Because I feel left alone
You feel left alone.
from some aspects that I don't like being around.
All right.
Okay. But when I stay in Oregon for a while,
Yeah.
then I get kind of tired of Oregon. So I haven't found the
You get
place.
tired of Oregon?
I do.
Or you get tired of yourself in Oregon?
I get tired of myself in Oregon.
All right.
It's not exciting enough.
All right. And so you go with the flow. So in general, what you're saying is your highest excitement is that there is no one place.
That's true.
There you go. That's your highest excitement.
And so
Your place is every place.
I love it. That's what I keep trying to tell my grandson, who continues to tell me, hey, I would really like to settle down in high school.
Then let him.
Okay.
Does he have to go with you all the time?
He does not.
There you go.
Awesome.
Problem solved.
Problem solved.
That was difficult, wasn't it?
Freeing.
All right.
Last question. I have a parrot. His name is Oscar.
All right.
It's just uncertain at how old he is. My grandson was kind of wondering if he was between 35 and 40 and some message from my parrot. He's just a wonderful friend of mine.
And what do you wish to know?
His age.
His age?
Yeah.
39.
Thank you, Bashar. Love you.
You as well.
Hi, Bashar.
And are you good day?
All right. First question is a fun question. It's
So the rest won't be.
well, all of them are
All right.
fun questions.
Yes.
All right. How we as people and everything we socialize now. You as a channel on the other side of the veil,
I am not the channel.
or
The channel is sitting in the chair in
the
front of
channels, yes, or you as Bashar.
Yes.
On the other side of the veil, do you guys have met? Because I came to understand that you guys had a whole group of channelers together. Now, after that, did you guys on the other side of the veil get together? And
Other
meet-
side of the veil?
or
Why are you talking about us like we're dead?
no? Well, on the
You
other
mean in our civilization?
in your civilization, if you've met other channels in our, on our planet, but then you
You
guys,
mean other entities that are being channeled? Is that what you mean?
yes, other entities that are being channeled in
Yes,
a way.
of course. We're aware of many other entities that are being channeled and interact with many of them quite often.
Oh, okay, that's cool. Because how we do we socialize and get together. I was just wondering if you guys do the same
Well,
thing.
not like you do, not exactly.
not exactly,
Not
but-
with the entities. Most of them are non-physical.
Oh, okay.
Some of them are physical, and we can sometimes
as you say, get together. But again, we trust the synchronicity of when that is relevant.
Oh, okay.
So how it happens is unknown until it happens.
It happens.
We
Okay.
don't organize or send out invitations in a sense.
Okay, cool. And then the second question I had was, maybe it's the chaos of, I tend to think of, I like to see how things work and all that. And then
Yes.
in our reality is that I'm experiencing this reality with everybody here, but then they're experiencing their reality at the same time.
Yes.
And then,
But you are experiencing what you call a shared reality by agreement, by each of you creating your own version of each other that is similar enough so that you can have the experience of a so-called shared reality. Yes.
oh, okay. So that means that they're together with me at the same time in my reality that's my reflection?
To a certain degree, not completely 100%, but to a
Okay.
certain degree, enough that you can experience the concept of a somewhat shared reality, yes.
Oh, okay, okay.
A mass consensus agreement as to what the game is that's being played and what the rules are, so that you can all experience a similar game enough so that you can interact with each other in certain ways.
Oh, okay. Okay. That was about the two questions I had. And that's it. That's,
Oh, all right. Well,
that's
thank
great.
you.
No, thank you very much. All right. Okay.
Hello, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
I'm really happy and excited about my life, and I love to share it in relationship with other people. And my highest excitement, often I'm wanting to include others
Yes?
that sometimes don't cooperate with my highest excitement.
Then that's not your highest excitement.
But sometimes I feel that is my highest excitement.
It can be your highest excitement to include others, but your highest excitement has to include their ability to say no. Or it's not really representative of excitement. Because if you need them to say yes and agree with you, that's not a definition of excitement.
Okay.
Excitement allows others to be who they are, knowing that whatever their response or reaction may be to your offering of sharing is exactly appropriate for them at that moment, and therefore you allow them to be who they are in the same way you would like them to allow you to be who you prefer to be.
Perfect. And one of the things that I'm hoping for in my life right now is
Hoping for. All right.
desiring
Go ahead.
is
Something
that
you're excited about.
I'm excited to find relationship in that partnership with someone who would share that time with me in my life.
All right. And do you trust the timing of your life?
I-
Big hesitation.
Yes, I guess I'm a bit impatient.
Well, you know what we just said about that. You are not yet the person that you actually prefer to be who would attract the person you prefer to attract. Would you rather attract a person when you're not yet the person you prefer to be and get a reflection of that?
No.
Thank you. Then trust the timing.
Okay. And I'd just like to know personally what's the highest and best inspirational message you have for me right now?
I've already given it to all of you.
Okay, thank you.
You must understand it is this simple. If you act on your highest excitement to the best of your ability every moment that you can, with zero insistence on the outcome, that is the formula. It's the only formula. It's the thing that's going to allow you to reach the highest, experience the greatest expansion, and be most in alignment with yourself and creation, which is basically the same thing. It really is that simple. It's not mysterious. It doesn't have to be any more difficult than that. But if it seems more mysterious, if it seems more difficult, if it seems like there should be something else beyond that, examine your beliefs and find out why you think that should be so.
Thank you very much.
Does that help you?
Perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
Good day. So my highest excitement in life is creating like processes or like permission slips for people to use to understand that beliefs create their own reality.
All right.
And my interest lately has been understanding the belief systems of like enlightened masters.
Yes.
So like when it comes to
They are beyond belief. They
So they've risen-
know who they are.
That's why, again, I said it renders down to the two simple words, know thyself.
Right.
So ascended masters know who they are, and knowing is above and beyond belief.
Right. So my question is, can you give examples of maybe Jesus or Buddha, that how they transcended limited beliefs that they had, and what permission slips they used to get from the limiting belief and then transcending it? What kind of permission slips did they use in their lives?
They used life itself. Does that make sense to you? They trusted that whatever would happen in life would be exactly what they needed to achieve that transcendence. They trusted life perfectly, 100%, that it would deliver exactly the processes they needed to experience transcendence. That's what they knew for a fact.
So were they born with that, or
Some were. Well, in a sense, all of you are.
Right.
But some are born with the realization of that, and some of them have chosen to go through a process to gain realization of that.
What would that process be?
Whatever process happened to them is what I'm saying. It's not a specific process that works for everyone.
Right.
I'm simply saying some of them chose to go through the process of whatever would come to them that would put them through a process. In other words, again, they trusted how their life unfolded.
So can you give me an example of of something that happened maybe in Buddha's life or Jesus' life that got them to go to transcend that, to know thyself? That's something...
Well, being nailed to a cross did it.
Okay. What about Buddha?
The idea is seeing the light in the darkness for Buddha. Recognizing suddenly in an instant understanding, what you would call a gestalt awareness, that a single candle at night in the darkness is all that is necessary to illuminate the entirety of creation, if you know how to look.
Okay, thank you.
Now, I was being a tiny bit facetious with the idea of being nailed to a cross, but only a tiny bit. Because what we are actually saying is they were willing to allow themselves to be taken to extremes to actually transcend past the idea that any of those things can actually affect who you really are as an eternal, indestructible being. So that was the process that was allowed there.
I see.
Yes?
Yes, thank you. So when it comes to my feeling as I've been studying...
No, one moment. Are you sure? Oh, all right. We are being asked to ask you, this may come in the form of what you call a joke. What were Jesus' last words on the cross? Nailed it.
Which goes back to the idea that to be enlightened, you have to lighten up on yourselves.
Yes, exactly. Don't take it so seriously.
Right. And then I have a question.
Yes, that went over well. Thank you.
And then in the prior transmissions, you've talked about how the...
One moment. Isn't it interesting that nobody asked who you are? Just plowed right ahead.
Who are you?
The one that gave the joke was Jesus.
Oh, right
on. Remember that one of your biblical quotes is, "My joy I leave with you." Yes?
Yeah.
All right. So now you may plow ahead.
Thank you. And then on a different topic, when it comes to, you were talking about how the Yael will be the first hybridized race that we come into contact with.
Yes.
Is there going to be any race before that that's not hybridized, or is
yes.
it? What?
Don't ask who. I can't tell you.
All right.
But good question.
No. And then my final question is about the moment of now.
Yes.
One thing that really changed in my life was when I read the book The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle.
Yes, totally.
Totally. When I read it, I had a shift where then I realized that the only moment that does exist is now.
Yes.
But at the same time, I thought about it later, and isn't that at some level, even though it is true, isn't it still a belief in itself? Or is it
No, it's an
transcended?
actual description of the structure of existence and one of the 5 laws. Remember, laws are the laws. They are not beliefs. They are a description of the structure of existence itself.
I see.
Yes.
And then
Does that help?
That does help. And then one last question.
Oh, one last question.
Is Eckhart Tolle a wanderer?
A type of wanderer, yes.
I thought so. Okay. Awesome. Much love to you. Thank you, Bashar.
And you as well.
So we're actually a little ahead of schedule. So
Not really.
I mean, can
Not
we?
really. Perfect timing.
Okay, so you don't want another question or beyond what I was.
You may
gonna do?
ask your Ustream question.
All right. Well. Okay. Well, there are several.
Well,
so-
there you go.
Okay.
We'll see how far you get.
We'll see. Okay, what if your highest excitement includes something long term, such as having a child,
Yes.
and you run out of that excitement? You are stuck in a position where you can't get rid of the child, but being a parent is no longer your excitement.
We would suggest that you re-examine the idea that the initial creation then was not made within the vibration of excitement, but within the definition of an idea that excitement would wane. And that's a different definition than the definition of excitement.
So the person had the definition of excitement that you can never really keep that level of excitement
Exactly.
going. It goes away after a
And
while.
that is not a definition of excitement.
And so they manifested a child that supported the reflection of that belief.
Absolutely. You understand perfectly.
Okay, good. Okay, and why is the contact crystal a hexagon? Are you looking at me?
Well, it supports the idea very specifically that what is attached to it, around it, as the central hexagonal crystal, are 6 others, which represent the 6 hybrid races and altogether the 7th that we have talked about many times.
Oh, that's nice.
Therefore, it's appropriately designed.
Okay. And then
Earth being the 6th hybrid race. Because there are already 5. We are the 3rd. But altogether, the 6 and the 1 in the center will be representative of the 7th hybrid race when all 6 hybrid races exist and blend together into the 7th. That's the core of our common evolution and what we share as family and where we're going into what you call the future. Together.
Okay, and then the last one is, well, there's another one after this, but
Oh, another last one.
yes.
It's amazing how many last questions you people have.
What is the link between reincarnation and balancing our masculine and feminine poles and sexual orientation?
This question may not really translate properly in the context of the way these things actually work, because as we have said, reincarnation, in a sense, can be a real experience, but it's not an accurate description mechanically of what's actually happening since all lives exist at once. So to ask what is the length of time for reincarnation is only the idea of asking about what kind of an experience can someone have relative to these experiential concepts that is imposed upon the actual mechanical structure. And the answer would be it can be different for every person based on their belief systems and what theme they are exploring. There's no standard in that sense, since all we're dealing with is an experiential projection or an illusion.
So maybe a way to approach this would be more like understanding the concept of sexual orientation and the balancing of the male and the female energy and how that's being expressed currently in our society.
Yes. Well, I suppose if you want, we could collect all the different ways in which people experience that and give you a relative average, if you want. A relative average time frame for you would be about 300 years.
Wait, you're saying the time frame for
the length of time to balance out the idea reincarnationally of the balancing of the male and female pose is that sense about 300 years on average for your species.
And isn't that like one of the most critical elements of our imbalance right now, the imbalance between male and female?
It's one of them, yes.
And a lot of people are exploring their sexual orientation in a reality now where there's more allowance for that.
Yes. And therefore you are changing the average. Used to be about 1,000 years.
Wow. And so when you were talking about the markers turning on, like I remember you telling me that actually you create the state of being where the markers are turned on. It's not like somebody from outside comes in and turns on your markers.
Correct.
So the first thing is by getting into the higher vibrational states, by going gamma and by following your passion.
Yes.
That by doing that, it then allows you to turn on your own markers that are already there.
Yes.
Which then allows you to access more, I would say.
Yes. This is another version of the old idea that we've discussed where you think you're only using 10% of your brain, but in fact you're using 100% of your brain to make it seem as if you're only using 10%. So now, as you expand, you start using 100% of your brain to make it seem as if you're using more than 10%. But you've always been using 100%. It's just that you're hiding some of the effects from yourself because you don't believe you're ready for them.
So when you have been sharing with us about following your excitement, one thing that I've learned over time is that the precision with which you're capable of expressing your excitement in a way that it is not clouded or...
Yes. The precision with which you are capable of clearly understanding the mechanism and how it works and why it expresses itself that way is of paramount importance.
Because it always harkens back to the idea of the eye of the needle, that in order to truly move to that level of experience, you have to be willing to let go of any definitions that are impeding your ability to truly express your excitement.
Yes, this is again another analogy of dropping baggage that has nothing to do with you.
But in the actual experience of it, what we've seen is that a lot of people follow their excitement, but they're not really sure if it's 100% that they're expressing their excitement.
But this is the process that you're going through, is learning how to be more discerning about what is and isn't.
And one of those big issues is it anxiety or is it coming from a place of true excitement?
Yes, that's the discernment you need to develop. And all it takes is absolute honesty and a willingness to investigate those things and to not be afraid if you encounter fear-based beliefs, because they're only beliefs and can be changed.
So perhaps one of the ways to determine whether it's anxiety or excitement is to see whether or not, in a sense, roadblocks or things come up in the path that say, no, you can't do this anymore. You need to do something different, or you need to express this in a different way, because otherwise you could be doing your excitement thinking you are, but you're actually expressing anxiety.
Yes.
And then...
that can be one of the ways. That's why we said there are things to look at that are specifically the things that make you unable to actually take action on your excitement that you have agreed to abide by.
And it can be as simple as another person who's in a more, I guess, has more dominion in a situation saying, no, you can't do that. It can come that way.
In a sense, it can come that way as long, again, as the person saying that this is not appropriate is coming from a place also of centeredness. Yes.
So I know it's just so challenging. I mean, it's juicy in the sense
Exactly.
that
You live on a juicy planet.
there is a complexity to really getting in touch with what's anxiety and what's excitement.
Yes,
That's
there is a
big
rich
thing.
complexity, but it's still not complicated.
Yeah, I wonder, is there almost like a
Litmus test.
test? Good grief. A litmus test that you can use with yourself to test whether is this anxiety or is this excitement?
Yes, there are many.
You want to share one?
What if I don't?
It's okay.
How do you feel about that?
How do I feel about that? If you say you don't feel like it?
Yes.
Well, then I'll probably think of something myself. If
All
you
right.
want me
Well,
to.
that's a litmus test.
What? Because I'm not getting upset with
Yes.
you for not doing it. Oh,
Exactly.
and that was the other thing you were talking about, where it's like the way to test, like you were talking about when you're in a situation where another person has a different point of view than you
Yes.
do.
Yes.
And the idea is to go within and see if you're reacting
Yes.
to the other person's point of view, particularly if what they're suggesting is making you feel disempowered.
Because they're not making you feel disempowered. You're making yourself feel disempowered. That's the honest litmus test, is to take full responsibility for what you feel.
Right.
It doesn't matter whether anyone else's intention is to get you to feel that or not. You are utterly responsible, all of you, for what you feel. And when you take full responsibility for it, then you'll be able to clearly understand what belief systems exist within you that are generating that feeling, and you'll understand the purpose that the interaction served to put you in touch with something within yourself you needed to be in touch with, so you could clear yourself regardless of whether the other person clears themselves or not.
Right.
Or even needs clearing or not.
Right, because the idea is anytime you're actually getting into an argument with someone,
Yes.
that shows you that you're not clear.
Yes.
Because otherwise you would be approaching the other person with the recognition that they're experiencing a limitation,
Yes.
and that you are wanting to be helpful, supportive. You truly are coming from a place of support and helpfulness.
If you
not,
truly are, yes.
Not the idea of, well, you should change because
Yes.
you're not the way I want you to be, or you're
Exactly.
creating a limitation for me that I don't
Yes,
like.
because it doesn't matter what anyone else chooses. You know it has no effect on you if you don't choose to be affected.
So ultimately, one of the strongest litmus tests you can use is the one that says, am I feeling an internal reaction to what is happening to me in my reality via another person or something else
Yes.
that's generating an anger feeling that's lasting
Yes.
beyond 15 seconds, a victimization feeling?
This is exactly why we often suggest that the question to ask yourself is,
What would I have to believe is true about myself
yes,
in
order
relation
feel
to
the way I do, yes.
But, then a lot of times it comes down to, well, ultimately everybody here seems to have an issue with self-worth
A lot of them do.
and empowerment.
Yes.
So if
These are the major themes that you're all exploring.
Right, but then it just kind of gets all lumped into one thing of, oh, well, I guess I'm not worthy,
Yes, all right. You can take it down to that if you want, if that simplifies it for you, but nevertheless,
But I don't think it's
a
as
theme
useful.
to be explored. Of course it's useful.
No, I mean, it's useful to know that you may not feel your full empowerment, or you may
Yes.
feel,
If it's getting muddled, then that's one of the tricks of the negative belief, to muddle it so you won't have anything to focus on and let go of.
right. So that's the moment you pull out that piece of paper that when you went through all the negative
Yes.
beliefs and say, okay, I'm having an internal reaction to
Yes.
something that's happening.
Yes. When something doesn't seem to work, you know your definition isn't clear. Why your definition isn't clear will always be based on a belief that's out of alignment with your true self.
Yeah, it's almost like the idea of if you ever find yourself in a situation where you go, I should be able to manifest this. I should be able to attract this. Why am I not doing that? It's really so simple to do.
Well,
But
yes, if
obvious-
it's relevant at that moment, yes. But again, it comes down to trusting how things unfold. And if something isn't manifesting that you think ought to be, getting in touch with the ideas and the beliefs that you have, using the threshold of believability test to see if you can let go of things that might accelerate the manifestation. But when you get it down to a certain point where no other beliefs can be let go of, then whatever time it takes is the time it needs to take for you to appreciate the process you chose to experience by choosing to have a physical life. Because physical life is all about the process. That's what life is. The process is the point. And that's all there is to it. So, speaking of processes,
Yes, Tadeo.
now it is time for you to take a very short break, and we will resume the transmission for your holotope meditation, yes?
Yes, that sounds
All
great.
right.
I just wanted to make sure that,
That was not an admonition.
okay.
It was a compliment.
Oh, thank you. So my last question was, again, I live in Kelowna, BC, on the Okanagan Lake, and here there's tales of the Ogopogo. And again, our family has felt like we've seen a few instances where we've seen it. Is the legend of the Ogopogo real? Is it harmful to us?
It is not harmful to you. It is real, but again, you're dealing with interdimensional beings that can come and go, which is why it is seen so infrequently.
So
Similar to the idea of Sasquatch and Yeti.
Okay. Have I seen it lately? Like, is that real what I'm seeing then, like in the water?
Sometimes. Sometimes it is a trick of the light. Sometimes it is an alteration of perception into a different reality and not in yours. So you have to be able to discern and tell the difference, what reality you're looking at. And sometimes it's in what you consider to be your typical reality. So it just depends.
That's amazing. Thank you so much. I appreciate your time, Bashar.
Our unconditional appreciation to you as well. Aveo.
Aveo.
Hello, Bashar. I'm wondering if you can provide me information about a species of extraterrestrial beings I met during an astral projection. I saw a male and female of this race. They were very, very lean, extremely low body fat, and dense, ripped muscles on their arms. They had ridges along the side of their face, and they were wearing a black and yellow garment that looked sort of like leather, and it reminded me of the fusion jacket from Dragon Ball Z. It also had ridges along the arms. The fusion jacket is interesting because that makes me think, well, maybe these are hybrids, as they're alluding to fusion. And I'd also like to comment that the name Varya came to me, and I'm wondering maybe these beings are connected to the Virgo constellation. Please expand if you can. Thanks.
What you were given is a projection, an interpretation. You are not seeing the beings as they actually are. This is a race of beings we are not allowed to discuss at this time, but that you are connected to. It does have to do with Virgo, but that's all we can say. But what you saw is not exactly what they are. It was made up of an interpretation of things from your mind so that you would have something to relate to. These encounters can continue, and you may gain more familiarity with them over time. But it is not our job to discuss this further.
Hello?
Good day, good day.
Good day, Bashar. So excited to see you.
We thank you. It is our passion and our pleasure to interact with you as well. What would you like to discuss?
So my first question is, which which extraterrestrial race do I have? Do I have any connections with any extraterrestrial race like the Sirius or Bosnia?
All humans have connections to extraterrestrial races. The ones that are most common for humanity are the beings from the Sirius star system, the Pleiadian star system, the ancient Orion systems, Arcturus energy, hybrids, grays, Lyrans sometimes, tall whites, Andromeda galaxy, so on and so forth, plus several others we're not allowed to discuss. But all humans to varying degrees and at different moments have stronger or weaker connections. that they download information and experience from to all of these different ET races that are involved with the evolution of Earth.
Okay, thank you. And so, do I have any, extended family members on the other side who are, whom I might meet at some point?
Yes, you all have soul family members that are non-physical.
Okay, so that when open contact happens, we get to meet them. Is that?
You're talking about extraterrestrials, you're talking about spirits. Because when you say family members on the other side, it means spirits.
Extraterrestrials.
Yes.
Extraterrestrial, like people.
You may meet some of your extraterrestrial counterparts when open contact occurs, yes.
Okay, thank you so much. And another one is about the Judeo-Christian culture. I think you spoke about the Merovingian bloodline. Are they still around?
They are. It goes all the way back to the idea of the Anunnaki bloodlines. So it still exists in many individuals. It exists in all of you to some degree. Some individuals, some strains, some cultures have a little bit more of it, more direct route to it than others, but it exists in all of you.
Okay. What, with regards to the wars that are, a lot of divisions that we see today, and also, with regards to steps or methods do you recommend to resolve many of these clashes or conflicts and, and the climate as a whole for the earth? Like, what do you recommend the best path? What course of action do you think we should, both as individuals and as a collective?
It is very important to let go of fear-based beliefs, negative beliefs, to have understanding and compassion for each other, that each of you walk a different path for a good reason, that there isn't just one way to do things, that there are several ways to do things, as indicated by the number of individual paths that exist, that it all leads to the same place, it all leads home, it all leads to the same source, it all comes from the same source, and to let go of the idea that you have the only truth, the only perspective that counts, but to understand and validate the individual differences among all of you to create true unity, true harmony.
But when people give you opinions or truths per se, so how do you settle, or how do you? So is it like a subjective? Is it completely subject to what works for each individual, or is there an ideal path which would works best for most people? Because if
this is why we give you. This is why we give you the formula. And the only reason most people don't agree is because they're too caught up in their own belief system and not really looking at the fundamental reasons why those beliefs exist. Once you examine those beliefs and let go of the ones that are truly no longer relevant for you, truly not representative of your core frequency, there will be no disagreement. There will be validation of the differences, and the differences will be seen in a different light. And they will be seen as different ways to reach the same source. So you have to let go of the fear-based and negative beliefs to see it that way.
Okay. So that's part of how we end up activating many of our genetic markers?
By following the formula, you raise your vibration. By raising your vibrational frequency, you activate the genetic markers that are relevant for you at this time to allow for the expansion of consciousness.
Thank you. And finally, do you have any personal advice for me as an individual, like what I should do, what path I should take, or
follow the formula
with regards to
follow the formula as precisely as possible?
Thank you.
Because you are unique, and therefore you have your way of expressing your passion and acting as a living example to others of how they can do so for themselves as well. So just by following the formula precisely, then you will be doing everything you can possibly do to serve humanity, which will then in turn serve you.
I like when I follow the formula at many points, I encounter, divisions. I mean, not divisions, but how do I say, difference of opinion and difference of interest when it comes to language and how we communicate. Is there at some point where those get resolved?
Absolutely. Because again, when you raise your frequency, you become more and more empathic and telepathic, and you know what each other are thinking without necessarily using the languages. The languages will start to fall away when you allow yourselves to identify and feel what others are feeling, to relate to it, to understand it, to have compassion for it. When you fall in love with one another, you will speak a different language. Does that help you?
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
All right, we thank you.
Yes,
Aveo.
absolutely.
Good day.
Thank you so much. Aveo. Good day. See you, Bashar.
Hi, Bashar. I have a question about an experience that I had. It was kind of like a dream, but it felt real, where aliens came into my house and asked me where I had gotten a big black cube that was sitting on my dining room table. I didn't know what it was or where it came from, and I told them that, and they said that I had wished for it when I was younger. And they mentioned a song that I used to sing from my favorite Disney movie. And then they took me out the window with them. And I also felt this buzzing and vibration in the back of my head. I was just wondering if you could give me any information on that, or if you knew. I'm really curious as to what the black box was, because they said I wished for it, and I'm not really sure. I'm trying to figure out what it is. So thank you.
It is the truth about your being and your connection to them and your participation in the hybridization agenda. It was put into the black box so that it would open at the time when it was important for you to remember. It was hidden away until such time as it is important for you to remember your participation in the hybridization agenda. And what you experienced was a memory, not a dream. The buzzing is the effect of transitioning to a different vibrational reality. That's how your body interprets the change in frequency from one reality to another. It's not uncommon for people to experience that in having encounters that shift you to a different reality. It is often accompanied by a vibrational sound.
Hello, Bashar.
Good day, good day.
Bashar, I feel like the language as we use it here has no adequate words to express how grateful I am for this opportunity of this exchange. And I would just like to say, with the words that I do have, thank you so much to you, to Darryl, and all the people behind the scenes who make this production and make this interaction possible.
It is our passion and our pleasure to do so, and it is our deep appreciation for the co-creation of this interaction to you.
Thank you. So I knew that I have just very little time with you today, and I was wondering, if synchronicity will show me what kind of questions I should ask. And then yesterday I saw a huge Dalmatian dog in front of my house, which is quite rare because it's not a dog race that is common here where I live. And I thought, okay, now I got the clue. And the reason why I won this raffle was a dream. I dreamt about the baby that was dressed in a blue overall. It looked to me like a few months old. But it said something that was so funny that my husband and I laughed really, this heartfelt laugh that you don't get often. And I asked it, how come you're so eloquent and so small? And he said something that I can't remember. And then I said, how old are you? And he said, 13 years. And I thought, how come he's so small? This can't be. When I woke up, I thought, wait a minute, this speech pattern that the baby had, this is Bashar, or his people talk like that. I remembered a study that was done with Darryl where they studied the content of the information that he was giving when he's channeling you. And I thought, okay, that has to have that has to do something with Bashar, this whole dream. And I thought, okay, what happened 13 years ago? I have no idea. And then I looked back at my dreams, and I realized that 14 months ago, I had another dream where I was in a blue tube, again, this same blue, this eclectic blue, and I was talking with an ET. And this tube was like a frequency protector. So I was safe from the frequency